Hi everyone, it's Anne here from Positively Papercraft, and I'm back with the tutorial today, and I'm really excited about this because it's turned out gorgeous. Now it's all made from, most of it is made from chipboard. You don't need any dies, and it's basically a sort of little storage box which is made from chipboard, and I've made 3 of these chipboard book boxes, but inside I think they are so cool because I've made a sort of frame, so they're so strong. Again, no dies, and if you wanted to, you could just make like one for a gift or to store stuff in, or you could make the little holder, which again, it's all made from, well, grey board actually, not chipboard. And as I said, I've made 3 of these. Absolutely love them. They've turned out so nice. So I'm going to show you how simple they are to make. Okay everyone, so I'm going to show you one of the beautiful book boxes again. I absolutely love how these turned out. They're so thick and sturdy, just beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. So I've already obviously got 2 made. We've got 1 more to do. So I've got grey board here, which is 4 by 6 inches. And this one is 6 by 1.5 inches. So this is going to be the outside of my book box, so I need to turn it the other way. And this is 12 by 7.5 inch, sorry, 12 by 8 inches. And I've put tape on the back or one of the sides of the grey board, and there should be enough for roughly a 1-inch border all the way around. Now I'm going to use my trusty little tool. It's got the corner mitre, and also this piece here allows you to get everything straight and lined up. Okay, so let me get these stuck down. So obviously you need to make 3 of these. As I said, I've already got my 3 made, so sorry, 2 made, so this is the last one. And then this is the MITRE tool, but actually what I'm going to do is just take a little bit off here because it's a little bit too much. You really only want about 1 inch all the way around. That'll do. Oh, and I forgot to show you, I am using this absolutely beautiful paper pad, which is Floral Couture. It's a die cuts with view. It is absolutely stunning, and I've used loads of it actually, because I've been making something else, which is another video that I've got coming up, which I think you'll like. So if you've got a craft knife, I'm just going to use this extra little mat because I don't want to have all cut marks in this, because this is mainly what I use to film on. So I've just got an extra mat. Just take your little MITRE bit, and then you can just cut these straight off. And then all I do is take my bone folder and I just kind of score all the way around the board. It just helps fold the paper better. And then I can fold paper over. So you can use tape or glue or both. I'm just going to use glue. I'm going to put it down here. And then these little sort of bits here, you're just going to push them in. Just push like that. Check that that's okay. And then we can glue these down. So that is my beautiful cover of my book box. Now the reverse of the paper is this pattern, which I'm going to use on the inside. So I'm just going to cut one long piece, one whole piece. I'm actually just going to mark it with a pencil or a pen. So just pop it on, so you know we've got like a little bit of a border, and I just mark it like that and then just trim. So that is going to go inside. And that's what I did for all of them. I just used the reverse paper on the inside, but of course, you know, use whatever you prefer, whatever you've got. So what I do to make sure this goes on, you know, without bits sticking up. So I've got this probably 2-inch tape. No, 1.5 inches, and what I do is I just make sure I put it round all 4 sides as close to the edges as possible, and then I know that it's going to be stuck down. you want to find your little folds. Where's my folds? And just gently run your bone folder sort of up and down, and then while you're doing that, you can just kind of sort of gently tease this up, because you're wanting to push the paper into those gaps. Okay. And I think there we go, perfect, and it's all stuck down on the inside, so beautiful. And then what I did was I took my crocodile and I'm punching a hole in the back. I've just got a little eyelet here and some more black elastic, and then all I do is feed the elastic through here and then close this. So it's not going to be closed all the way, so about there. So keep it to there. And then take the eyelet and I just squish it in. But is that meant to come out the back? Yeah, I've done that the wrong way actually. That has got to come through the back. Yeah, this way. And then we want the eyelet to be pushed through from the back, like that. And then I can take the crocodile and just clamp that off. And then you can cut these extra bits off because your little book is going to hide this in the inside anyway. So there is your nice and tidy little closure. So we've got that bit done. Now to make the little book inside, we've got let me just tidy this desk up. Right, so to make your box inside, you're going to need 2 pieces of card which are 4 by 4.5 and 2 which are 4.5 by 6. Actually, no, make them all 4.5, but the 6 make it 5 7/8. So 5 7/8 by 4.5 and 4.5 by 3 7/8, because it will allow it's that so your actual box isn't coming right to the end. So the 5 7/8 by 4.5, you're going to score on the 4.5 inch side at 1/2 inch. We get this right with a 1.5, yeah, so 1/2 inch, 2 inches, 2.5 and 4. Same with the other piece. half, 2, 2.5 and 4. Now the 4.5 by 5 7/8. So on the 4.5 inch side, it's the same again, half, 2, 2.5 and 4. Now on the 3 7/8 inch side, you're only going to score at 1/2 inch just down to the second score line. 1/2 inch to the second score line. So I want to show you that. Okay, so same again, 4.5 inch side, half, 2, 2.5, 4. 3 7/8 inch side is 1/2 inch just to the second score line. Okay, so you will also need 4 little pieces of card which are about 1 by 1.5 inches, or actually make them 1 3/8 by 1 inch, and you're just going to score them in, fold them in half. You can score them if you want. We're not going to see these. These are just going to be so our book box here doesn't have any gaps. I absolutely love this. I'm so pleased with how it turned out. It's so thick as well, and you don't need any dies, so brilliant. Right, this is dead easy to put this together. Just fold and burnish them all. Now actually this cardstock is really nice, and it happens to be from Pink Frog Crafts. They were kind enough to send me quite a few packs of different white, black, craft card, etc. And I'm actually really impressed with this. So I think I will go on and order some more. It is really, really nice quality. I normally get mine from MITRE Crafts, but they don't always have it in. And, you know, we're limited really. There isn't loads of places to get cardstock from now. So this is beautiful quality. Very, very nice. So same with the little one, but what we're going to do on those little score lines we put in, we're going to cut up them, and then when we get to the second score line, we're going to cut diagonally. So cut up and then go across. So this should look like this. Just cut this the same, so I'll show you again. Cut up, across, cut, and across. Now, glue or tape, it's entirely up to you. Glue on down here or tape. And then close that up. Now, when you do these, remember the bit that you've glued, which is your seam, are going to always going to be at the back when we come to assemble it. They're so easy to make, you'll end up probably making loads of them. I mean, you don't have to make them as I'm doing them with the sort of chipboard container or stand, whatever. You could just make them as one, just to make, like, to put gifts in for somebody, or you could make them for your own craft room just to store stuff in. It's entirely up to you, but they are so easy to do and they look and feel really professional. Why am I gluing that on? I'm not gluing that right. That's it. Okay, so, and then these ones, it's just the same. Okay, just a bit of glue on here. So that's that. Now your little pieces of, what did I do with my little pieces? I hope I didn't put them in the bin. Damn, where have I put them? There they are. It's because they were stuffed in with the other bits. So have your seam at the back again, and you're going to put glue on here and you're going to slot these in here, and this is just going to stop any gaping or any gaps in your little 3D box. So seam at the back, and you're going to put that in there. And then you're going to flip it over and you're going to put one on the other side. Okay. And then same at the back, and you're going to have one on this side here. There we go. So now we can join it together, which is so easy to do. Okay, so got our seam at the back. So this will be this side actually. Have I done this right or not? Yes, seam at the back. That'll be that side. Yeah, seam at the back. Seam at the back. And then obviously this bit at the back. So what you're going to do is you're going to put glue on here. Then you're going to take this and you're going to put glue on this back piece and inside here. And you're going to take this and you're going to slot this through in here. This is going to go over and that bit's going to go over the back as well. And you're going to press this down, and that's what I'm saying, those little pieces we glued in was because that would be a gap otherwise, and you know, it wouldn't look very nice. So get that stuck on there. So easy to do. And then we are going to come in with the next piece. So we're going to put glue on here, glue on this back square inside here, and then again we're going to slot this through. Like so. And you can stand it up this way, I think, to get it, you know, glued in the right place. And then glue on both of the flaps. Glue on both of the back squares and the front of this. and then the same thing again. Dead easy. Press that down. Right, so there is the inside. So if we take our little box, let's see what I mean, it will be able to glue sort of we just have a little bit of our, you know, it's not coming all the way to the top. And then with mine, what I did was I didn't, if you want to glue this on here, you can, but then I don't know, I thought for me it makes it a bit restricted because you can't bend it back, so I didn't. But if you want to glue this to here, by all means you can, so that would just open. It's entirely up to you how you want to do them, but I just absolutely love these. They're so professional and thick. Now you can just glue that on there and have that as your background paper underneath, which I think is all I did really. So you don't even need to put a base, you just need to glue these straight in. Mine's not sitting straight, I don't know why. You sometimes get a few bits that are out, but you know, it's handmade at the end of the day. What did I do with that one? Oh no, I did it the same as the flowery paper. So what I'll do is I will cut some of the flower paper out to stick underneath. As long as that covers that, which is fine. And then I will glue this on here. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's not going to be seen, it's going to be on the inside. Absolutely gorgeous, that. Now I'm going to, as I said, the little eyelet there, this will cover that. So you want plenty of glue. You can put tape on as well if you want, because you don't want this coming off. I know this glue is really strong, so I don't mind just using glue. Now you want to get this in the right place. So kind of want it just away from the spine. Looks about perfect. Yeah. Now I didn't put any paper on the inside of mine. I'm not going to this time, but I'm going to put it on the outside. And what I think makes them look more professional is the fact that they have the matching paper round as well. There we go. I absolutely love these. They are just beautiful. So professional. Yeah, I'm pretty addicted to making these. So just really simple. They're sort of 1/2 inch wide. So all I'll do is I've got some of this paper left, I'll just cut a few 1/2 inch wide strips. Actually no, I cut them just smaller than half an inch because we don't want them to be the same width. That doesn't work, does it? Not because I've cut the wrong side. So yeah, so I would cut them 3/8. Yeah. So, and obviously you want to get the direction right, but then again it's so small I don't really think it matters. So all I do for this bit, really easy, so just get a pencil or a pen again, whatever you've got, and you're going to place it on, and then you can sort of see where they sort of mitre. So I just mark with my pen the little mitre. You can actually see them and feel them underneath the paper. Mark them with the pen, and then I'll just cut them with my scissors, and they should turn out pretty perfect. There you go. And you just glue them on. Like so. And then again, so just go right to the bottom, right to the end. Again, I can sort of see and feel where it is, so just mark them. I think it looks so much better with these on the top. And all that's left to do now is make our grey board holder for them. It's too small, so I'll cut another 2 pieces, stick them on, and I'll be back. Okay, I've glued them, rest of them on, and then from the inside paper I've cut the bits to go on the outside. Oh, that could have been a bit longer actually. Never mind. So yes, I've cut them. And I am going to glue them on there. So quickly glue these on. There we go. There is, oh yeah, they definitely should have been a bit longer. Never mind. There is our book box. So now I've got 3. As I said, you can just use them individually. So we've got 3. Now we just need to make the matching holder.